Have you ever had one of those amazing, brilliant ideas, but when you tried to write it down, it just kind of fell flat? Yeah, we've all been there. The truth is, even the best ideas can get totally lost if they don't have a solid structure. So today, we're going to become architects, architects of arguments. We're going to learn how to build our writing piece by piece so that it stands tall and makes a serious impact. All right, let's get in.
Okay, just take a look at this screen. On the left, you've got the classic wall of text. The ideas in there might actually be great, but who knows? They're completely varied. Now look at the right. It's the exact same information, but it's been structured. It's clear, it's inviting, and you immediately get what it's about. The difference is huge, right? So, what's the secret ingredient? What's the magic that turns that mess on the left into the clear, powerful message on the right? Well, it's not magic. It's much simpler. It's a plan. Because here's the thing about great writing, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you build it. Just like an architect would never start a building without a blueprint, a great writer needs a structure. So, welcome to the blueprint. Every strong structure, and I mean every single one, starts with a solid foundation. For us writers, that means mapping out our core ideas. We're going to look at 3 super common organizational patterns that are going to act like the main walls for our arguments. If you get this part right, everything else you build on top of it is going to be rock solid. First up is a true classic, the problem-solution pattern. This thing is incredibly persuasive. You start by painting a clear picture of an issue, and then you swoop in with a compelling way to fix it. This is the go-to structure for things like business proposals, opinion pieces, really any time you need to get someone to act. And here it is in the wild. See how it's built? First, the problem is laid out crystal clear. The company has a high carbon footprint. Then, bam, the solution is proposed, this green commute initiative. It creates this logical, really persuasive flow that's just so easy for a reader to follow. All right, next up, comparison and contrast. This pattern is your best friend when you need to analyze a few options, maybe write a product review or explain something kind of technical. It just works by putting 2 things side by side and showing what makes them alike or, totally different. Here's a perfect example. We're comparing 2 types of rocket engines. The author isn't just dumping facts on you, they're putting them head to head. And did you see that key phrase right in the middle? In contrast. That little phrase is a giant signpost for the reader. It signals a clear shift from one idea to the next. Super important. And our third foundational pattern is cause and effect. This one is all about explaining the why behind things. You could use it to explain why a marketing campaign was a huge success, that's the cause, and how it boosted sales by 50%, that's the effect. This structure helps you tell a really clear, logical story by connecting the dots for your reader. Okay, our foundation is officially set. Now, it's time to cut up the frame. Think of it this way. Your individual ideas are like separate rooms in a house. To make it a home you can actually live in, you need hallways and doorways to connect everything. In writing, those connectors are our transitions. Just read this paragraph about AI. The sentences are all fine, but they feel like these little isolated islands, right? There's no flow, no real connection. The reader has to do all the work to figure out how these ideas are even related. This is where your transitions toolkit comes in to save the day. These words and phrases are the nuts and bolts, the bridges of your writing. They don't just connect ideas, they actually show the relationship between them, guiding your reader nice and smoothly through your argument. Now look at the same paragraph again. With just a few of these simple transition words, which we've highlighted here, the whole thing is transformed. It flows, it has a rhythm, and the ideas are now having a clear conversation with each other. It's just so much better. Here's another fantastic example. The word however acts as this perfect pivot, right? It swings you from a positive point to a negative one. And then, as a result, directly connects a cause, the bad battery life, to its effect. This is the key takeaway here. Transitions make your logic visible. So we've laid the foundation and we've built the frame. Now for the fun part, the interior design. This is all about presentation, because strategic formatting makes your ideas not just strong, but also, welcoming and easy to read. Hey, remember this from the beginning? The words on the left and the right are exactly the same. The only difference is the formatting. The version on the right uses a clear title, some headings, and bullet points to turn that dense paragraph into an inviting, easy-to-scan map of ideas.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? Good formatting isn't just about making things look pretty. It's about respecting your reader's time and attention. It's a huge part of clear communication.
Let's quickly break down the tools. Headings act like signposts for your reader. Bold text basically screams, "Hey, look at me, I'm important." Bullet points turn a complicated list into easy-to-digest bites. And never, ever underestimate white space. It gives your reader's eyes a chance to breathe and process what they're reading.
All right, we've reached the final, and you could argue the most important part of our whole blueprint, the grand finale. A great conclusion doesn't just stop, it leaves a lasting impression. It makes sure your message really sticks with the reader long after they're done.
So a really great conclusion usually does one of four things. It can synthesize your main points just to remind the reader of your core message. It can answer the big "so what" question, explaining why any of this actually matters. It can give a call to action, telling the reader what to do next, or it can leave them with a resonant final thought, just a powerful, memorable statement that lingers. First, let's look at what not to do. This conclusion is, well, it's pretty weak, right? It just repeats what was already said in the most boring way possible. It adds zero new value, and it just kind of ends with a whimper. Okay, now contrast that with this. Wow, this is a powerful conclusion. It synthesizes the main lesson, that leadership is about empowering others, and then it ends with this forward-looking, inspiring thought. It shows growth, it shows ambition, it leaves the reader feeling impressed. And that is the blueprint, my friends. It really comes down to these four key stages: planning your structure, connecting your ideas, formatting for clarity, and concluding with real power. These are the tools you need to turn good ideas into truly unforgettable writing. So, the only question left is, now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?